Working Across Cultures 1, Track 34.
Many of you will travel to foreign countries on business or go to international conferences and sales fairs. Some of you may end up living and working in a foreign country. For all of you, cultural and social awareness will be important if you want to become effective communicators when you're abroad. Today, I'm going to look at saying no politely. Whenever you say yes to a request, you are doing so at a cost. That cost is usually your time. Sometimes you just have to say no. I remember 2 embarrassing occasions when I had to say no. One was in Finland, when a business friend invited me to a sauna. I just felt uncomfortable. The other was in Hungary, a country where it's sometimes okay to share private details. Someone asked me something rather personal. Again, I felt a bit uncomfortable. In the first part of my talk, I'm going to look at 5 tips for saying no politely. Firstly, pay attention. Listen carefully and make sure you don't say no before the other person has even finished making their request. Listen to the request with an open mind. Secondly, offer alternatives. You may even be able to recommend someone else who is more suitable. Thirdly, show sympathy if someone asks you to do something that you can't do. Show that you genuinely wanted to help. Next, be as clear as possible to avoid misunderstandings. Don't say maybe when you really mean no. And finally, avoid long reasons and excuses. Sometimes the less you say, the better. The times I've had to say no the most is when customers have wanted huge discounts. As long as you can say no politely with a smile, followed by a genuine "I'm sorry," then you should be fine.
Working Across Cultures 1, Track 35.
In the second part of my talk, I'll look at saying no in different countries. Japanese people hate saying no. They don't even like using negative endings to verbs, and they don't like any confrontation. So it's important to look at their non-verbal communication. They believe in harmony. They think that turning down someone's request causes embarrassment and loss of face to the other person. Many negotiators have come away from meetings in Japan thinking they have got agreement, when in fact they haven't. Indonesians can also communicate indirectly. They don't like to cause anyone embarrassment by giving a negative answer. So the listener has to work out what they really mean. In fact, Bahasa Indonesian has 12 ways of saying no, and also other ways of saying yes, when the real meaning is no. The Chinese will often avoid saying no. They have an expression which means, "We'll do some research and discuss it later," which is a polite way of saying no. Silence in China can also imply that there are problems. Silence in the Arab world is quite common, however, and does not necessarily mean no. The Arab world does not find silence difficult. However, saying no in the wrong situations can have bad consequences. An American business friend of mine once refused a cup of coffee from a Saudi businessman at the start of a meeting. In America, that wouldn't have been a problem, but this was seen as rather rude by the Saudi host, and the meeting was unsuccessful. My friend should have accepted the coffee and just had a small cup. I'll now move on to